for those of you guys that are brand new to the team, Cameron and I have been working on this series for a couple months, and it's basically a deep dive into each of our products, how our products help with specific scenarios that people are dealing with. So if you look on this page and you just put in the search box, why Plexus, it's going to bring up a whole series of videos that are really great at helping everybody kind of understand the science behind our products and how they work, what they do, why they work for specific types of people that have, say, thyroid disorders or something like that. So today and the rest of this month, we're going to go through our newer products. And this one is very, very different because obviously everything that we've worked on in the past has been more along the lines of health and gut health and mental health and helping people feel better, nutritional deficiencies. And this one, it's in an entirely different market, an entirely different part of the body, our skin, and we're going to be, Cameron's really, really good at going deep into the science behind why Joyome is working, what it's doing, why our scientists decided to put specific ingredients in it, and then why it's important to keep up with our skin microbiome, okay? So I'm really excited about this one. I'm actually going to kick it off like I usually do. So usually we have, let me go ahead and share my screen, actually. There we go. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. I'm going to start the presentation. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so usually we start off each of these Y Plexus series with somebody. We invite a third person on here, and they give their testimony for using the product. This time, I mean, there's not a whole lot of words that you need, so I figure the best way to kick this off is to just show you guys some pictures. And what I want to get across with each of these before and afters is just how incredible. Let me move this little box. I don't know if you guys can see me talking, but so you guys can actually see the pictures. But you guys, this isn't just for your face. These products have proven to be so incredible for a lot of the things that we kind of have to deal with. So the varicose veins, the stretch marks, those types of things that can lend to some, just some self-doubts, a little bit of shame sometimes, or just something you don't want to have on your body, that beauty factor. So Jen Rand's my good friend, you guys, that's her neck. We always joke that her neck got famous because of Joyome. But one of the coolest things, and I'm pretty sure Cameron will mention it, is that our clinical studies showed just a dramatic decrease in the fine lines and wrinkles on your face, but in a really short amount of time. And you can see that in these pictures. You can see the pigmentation has helped, the age spots, the sunspots, all of those types of things are being helped with these. And just time and time again, you're seeing on these pictures like these two that the bags under your eyes, the fine lines and wrinkles around your face, and that kind of stuff. And I'll be the first to say, you guys, I am a very holistic minded person. But at the end of the day, there's going to be things on your body that bother you, and I have definitely done Botox before, and I'm ashamed to admit that, especially on a call like this, but I have not had to do Botox at all since, in fact, I was well overdue when Joyome launched, needing my next round of Botox, never went and got it, and it's been, I don't know, I'm probably, at this point, 9 months past due on needing it, and it doesn't, I look like I had my last, thing of Botox. So it's really, really neat how this has actually corrected those sorts of things. And it works on all ages. I made sure that picture on the left was actually a legitimate picture because it's so incredible. And she is an actual Plexus ambassador on one of the Diamonds teams. It's her level 2. And she just is having this stellar results. So, and as you guys can see, it helps with far more than just fine lines and wrinkles. You can see the acne help and the dark circles and the pigmentation. It just helps with complexion overall. So, oops, sorry. I went a little too fast there. Sorry, guys. And this is a girl on our team as well, you guys. Her son is almost 2 years old, and she decided to do a little test on herself to see just how well this is working. And she wiped Joyome day and night on just at the normal time she would use it, just the excess that was on her hands on one side of her belly for her stretch marks. And this is what happened. So that was with 2 weeks of use, you guys. So this isn't over the course of a year or anything, like that. This is getting results for people pretty darn quickly. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about, beauty industry and the numbers. What does this mean for us? Because we have just entered into a brand new market for Plexus. We have been in the health and weight loss category for the past 10 years. And this opened up just an entire new market for us. And I want you guys to understand just how big that of a deal that is and how much growth we could potentially expand, because this represents a different pocketbook for people. Health and wellness, they have a certain amount of money that they'll allocate to spend on nutritional supplements or weight loss, that sort of thing. And an entirely different category of spend is the beauty and cosmetics and that type of thing. So in 2016, which is the most recent stat that they can give, it was an $84 billion industry in the US. That is a huge, huge deal. And the US is the most valuable market in the entire world for the beauty industry. Skincare actually happens to make up the very largest amount of that market share, with 37% of the spend. So that's where we're at, is obviously within the skincare market. And the forecast for just that category is projected to be $20.1 billion of growth between 2014 and 2019, which you guys, we are in the thick of it right now. So we're in a huge, huge growth trend with this industry. And not only that, we're in a growth trend within, I'm going to get to it in a little bit, but with the natural and organic skincare market. Like, the people are pushing more towards not wanting the things like Botox, not wanting the things that are going to harm their face and provide other issues. They're wanting a more natural solution. And one of the biggest things too, and this is, how many of us have purchased that, I almost brought it in here to show you guys, but that darn L'Ange curling wand, because Facebook is promoting it all over the place with those people that are getting on and doing the tutorials about how to curl your hair, everything like that. I posted in a group that I had gotten one, and literally within seconds, like 15 women were like, I have 3 because of Facebook. You guys, the way that the beauty industry works is through YouTube, video logs, Instagram, beauty blogs, tutorials, how-tos, and 90% of the revenue is actually generated through social media, and that has been a very recent trend. So we have that ability. That's where we predominantly market anyway, and so it's going to be an incredible opportunity for us. And these are just kind of, you can see that, hygiene makes up only this amount, perfume, makeup, hair care, and then we get down to skin care. We are the largest aspect of the market share, via that product. And so it's a really big deal that we stepped into this particular aspect of the market. And the forecasted market size, this is what I was talking about earlier, for the natural and organic beauty industry is supposed to be huge growth before 2024. So we're in a big growth market from both the just skincare aspect of it, from the beauty and cosmetics, but then also we're in the right side of it with the natural side. So I'm gonna actually turn it back over to Cameron at this point, and she's gonna talk to you guys just a little bit about the science behind it, how it works, and everything like that. So Cam, take it away.
Thanks, Sarah. I had no idea. I just saw all those things and it was like, it just makes sense. I mean, everything is on Instagram and social media. And I know for me, for natural, my name's Cameron McMillan, and when Joyome first came out, I'm a green, so I had to just research it because that's what I do. And I had spent the probably past year trying to find something natural. I had emergency surgery and an ovary removed, and it became critical for me to find products that did not disrupt my endocrine system because I'm delicate now. Oh boy. I don't know if I tried a product that didn't have enough preservatives, and I dubbed it butthole eyes. Got really swollen, and I had to go to the doctor, and they took pictures. I've tried everything. I found finally the last product that was just good enough had too much tea tree and lavender oil in it, which guess what? Disrupt your hormone system. If you Google that, I just couldn't win. At some point, I was like, should I just start doing zest and chemicals all over my face? And when you dive into the significance of these ingredients and how they work, this is legit. I told Sarah, I was like, can you put in a request that Plexus would sell these in 55-gallon bath drums so we could just soak our bodies? Because I don't want you to just think Joyome when we think about skin health. Let's think about our body cream, because that's an incredible product too. So let's talk a little bit about our skin. It's not just our largest organ, it's our heaviest organ. It weighs 10 pounds of us is skin. In perspective, our intestines are 7.5 and our brains are 3. So it's really crucial to protect our skin, because our skin is our armor. It keeps our bones in check. It keeps our organs protected. It keeps infectious disease coming in, but it is really susceptible to all different types of things in the environment. So you want to think about not just protecting. One reason why the face, and this is so important, is because this is what's exposed to sun all the time, which just damages your skin. This is what's getting exposed to in the environment. This is what all the toxins are coming in here. And that's why we focus so much on the aging of the face, because this is where our skin is really thin, and it's also the most exposed. Same thing, that's what I love about body cream. Definitely look into that as a skin protection. So you see, the skin is a really, really important part of our body. And I want to share some screens here. One thing I wanted to say is our skin regenerates every 28 days. Our gut cells regenerate maybe every 30 or so, but when you go into Joyome, I want you to think consistency, because I probably had, most of my ambassadors came to me like, oh my gosh, I'm going through some sort of die-off or break. I had people that their skin thinned for a week and came back. It's because there's stuff going on, and I'll show you in a slide. So when you start Joyome, start to be consistent no matter what for 60 days. It's just like our gut garden, because we have to deal with what's going on and get rid of it. So, if our cells generate every 28 days, if you're in die-off for 3 weeks, it's not till the end of that die-off that your cells are starting to heal from not having the weeds in it. Same thing with our gut garden. And then as you have these cells without the weeds and that are protected, you want those cells to regenerate so it's all healthy. So that's 60 days, maybe even 90 if you have issues. So these will help a little bit here to show you a little bit about our skin. I'm sure we remember all these from biology class a while ago. Is this showing up? So this is our skin. Doesn't this look like Honey the Shrunk? I Shrunk Our Kids video right here. I don't know why, but this is the surface of the skin. This is the barrier. And then we have our epidermis, and this is where we have different layers of our skin, and Plexus really is able to penetrate this layer and to get down to where it needs to be. And we'll talk a lot about this, but one other thing that I love that we do is we really help protect that barrier. It comes back and helps regenerate, so you have a better shield that maybe has gone in dysbiosis a little bit, not as great protection. And you can see different factors here affect our skin. We have, whether you have diabetes or just some sort of autoimmune, some sort of skin, maybe you have a genetic thing, like you just run genetic for eczema or something. If your occupation, you're exposed to different things, you're not cleaning yourself. There's all different types of things that affect you. See that previous exposures and inflammation really affect your skin. It's our hormones, our gut health, our antibiotics that we've taken, genetics, things like that. And then let's look at what happens to our skin. We talked about those different layers, but look at this. If you've had some chronic stuff going on, the inflammation's not just on that surface layer, it's gone all the way in. So this is just going to take longer. That's why consistency is key. If you've got some significant damage, look at all this that has to be healed. That's why it's so important to keep your gut right, because it's going to attack inflammation in both ways, from the skin and this way. So you can see that, inflammation it's not just about beauty. It's really things are happening in our skin that can cause us some different sicknesses. So our skin is a very important thing. And then the next thing I want to talk about is our microbiome. We talk a lot about our gut microbiome, but there is a microbiome on our skin, and it's located all over. You could see, remember the surface skin, there's little mites and different things on it. All over our skin, we have good and bad bacteria on it. And you want to protect it. We are seeing that our skin microbiome actually can signal our skin cells. They talk to each other. And when those things are off, of course your skin's going to be off. If your skin microbiome isn't happy, your skin's not going to be happy. Just like your gut, if your gut's not happy, you're not going to be happy. So it's important to recognize our microbiome as something that we want to protect on our skin, our face, our or that's why I love the body cream. It puts a protective barrier on it. That's a different call, but it's such an important product with this skin health. But what I love is the medical community is actually recognizing our microbiome as an organ. It's something that really, really protects us, and our skin really is our first line of defense against everything out there. And I know that some of you might know, as we give birth, as women give birth, we put a protective coating on the baby's skin as it passes through the vaginal cavity. And they say, you know, like when you get an egg, if you don't rinse it off, it can last longer because it's got the protection on it. It's the same thing. They don't want you to bathe babies for a few days because they say within the first 2 days of birth that our T cells on our skin are really activated and our microbiome is actually really forming. There's a lot of research that's going to be shown about what's happening to all these babies that have been that had C-section, or maybe the mom's been on antibiotics, or they've had to be on antibiotics, how it's almost you're unable to go back. But what I'm seeing is that we're able to help and assist, not just with the insides, but same thing with people that maybe have had chronic something on their skin all their life. We can help them now, and that's super exciting. And what I also want to talk a little bit about aging, because this is such a big part. People turn to, I know I did, I didn't really care about my face until I was like, what's this? What's this? So what really is aging? Aging happens on our skin, inside our bodies, and our heart cells. It's just the dying off, the slowly dying of cells. And as we get older, we are just, our metabolisms drop, things just slow down because we've been living for so long as we were designed to. So it's our cells basically dying, in our skin cells. Why they age and get fine lines is because they're no longer having collagen and elastin and are not able to retain moisture. Well, you know, that skin microbiome we talked about, that's the signal. It's our skin microbiome that signals to retain moisture. So that's why when we push that dysbiosis over, we're having that glow. You know, when we take probiotics, how many here people have the health glow from probiotics? That's why further with it's getting rid of the bad bacteria on our skin and enhancing the good bacteria on our skin that's glowing. And then you want to protect your collagen and elastin. And fun fact, BioCleanse, which has magnesium, your body uses magnesium as a precursor to making collagen. So the fountain of youth really is in our gut, and then it's also in our microbiome. So what really makes Plexus work compared to everything else out there? I mean, you know, that's really what I wanted to do, is like, we know they knocked it out of the park with the probiotics. It's clinically studied. All the ingredients work together with each other and were cherry picked. It wasn't like, let's do this, do this. It's just, that's the way Plexus rolls. They pick ingredients that work synergistically and that actually get to where they need to be. And so it is true, the ingredients they picked, and I encourage you, it's available on the Joyome website. Go and look at the ingredients that they picked. I will go over a few of them, but it's right there. And you can read, you're like, I can read that. And I know what a red clover is. You can read every single ingredient on there. Go do it. And it will show you what it's shown to do, just like an ingredient in a supplement like serapeptase. Go check out the ingredients. You'll see that they're legit and they really do help with different things. One of my favorites is hyaluronic acid. I called it my Botox serum before Plexus. I had just a jar of that because I loved it so much, and I would put it all over because it really helps your skin more plump. That's what's retaining the moisture. This is what is found already in our bodies. This acid is in our joints. It's what lubricates our joints and keeps us limbo and things like that. And so your body knows what to do with it because it already makes it. So you're just supplementing like we do, maybe with vitamin C, we're supplementing for more. So that's a moisture retainer. Plexus put that in there because it's the Botox serum of nature. So we can all thank that acid from our knee joints and stuff to make us look so great. Red clover is another one I want to highlight. That one is our polyphenol. And polyphenols are highly potent antioxidants. That's what makes our X Factor Plus so special. Antioxidants are cell repairers. They go in and repair cells and get rid of the bad cells that they disable free radicals in our system. So while you have those vitamins doing that on the outside of the skin, that red clover is helping repair those damaged cells, those dark lines, the fine lines, the dark spots, the melanoma damage, and helping that repair it. So and then from there, as your body does that, the byproducts of those polyphenols turn into prebiotics, which really, really makes Plexus special. That's the third thing. So the first thing that makes us important is that we're clean, and we have 11 active ingredients that are clinically studied and proven that they actually work. And most products, the product line that I had tried before, you're taking 4 or 5 different things, and they put like 2 active ingredients, and it takes you 20 minutes. Well, Plexus put the 11 in 2, so you just need step 1 and step 2. And they all work together within the product at the time of day. The night one really is something you want to go to bed at night with, so it can do the exfoliating, it can get in there, and you wake up, put your other Joyome and sunscreen, and so during the day you can stay moisturized. So they really do work well together for both effects, is you want to moisturize and you also want to get rid of and heal and slough off stuff. So Plexus, that two-step process with 11 clean, proven ingredients makes us very, very important. The second is that prebiotic, those polyphenols that are helping repair cells, which help just the appearance of your skin and dark spots and things like that. But it also turns into a prebiotic, which feeds the skin microbiome. And this is really where it's super, super amazing, because it's just like our inside. We're giving our skin the tools to repair itself. These prebiotics there's several different types of bacteria we have that can affect acne and things like that on our skin. This feeds the good guys. So it's shifting that dysbiosis, that imbalance of good and bad, to the good. And the good one then signals with the cells. Remember, we talked about cell signaling. Let's retain moisture. Let's do this, rather than let's look dull and things like that. So just shifting that dysbiosis to something positive with these prebiotic fibers, fertilizing it, is you're training your skin to heal itself. You're not, and these ingredients are going in and helping, but the prebiotics are really, I feel like it's training my skin to heal itself, which is amazing. There's not really the thought of, we've seen probiotic skincare lines and things like that, but it's really the fact that you are regenerating your ecosystem on your skin is what I really like about prebiotics. That's cutting edge. Nobody really does that. And that's why I really love it. And then the third thing that makes it really important is the bioavailability part. We talk about why the insides work so well. It's because Plexus really does think, well, if you pair aloe and vitamins all together, it is clinically shown that your body's going to absorb it better. And that's all it is if you have good ingredients, but your body's not absorbing it, it's doing nothing. How many people have here have put a skincare cream on their face and like it just sits there? Or if you go outside and you sweat and you just can feel it and beat it on your face, that's because that's all it's doing. Well, Plexus, in this, the prebiotics is patent pending, and this hydrolipid delivery system is patented, I believe. I don't even think it's pending because everything's being worked on. So basically, the hydrolipid thing is taking a fat, a plant-soluble fat, like a coconut oil or something like that, and putting that active ingredient in there. So remember that skin barrier, it's getting into your skin. It can get in below the skin. It's actually getting to where it needs to be. So it's just like the pod, the fat pod, so your body can absorb and get into the skin. So that's the biggest thing is I've heard so much feedback. People put it on and immediately absorbs, like, should I put more on? And they're like, wait, no, I shouldn't. That's why we don't have to use much, is because they put the hydrolipid in there, so it's actually getting into the skin. So it's very, very bioavailable. So all those ingredients, all those 11 ingredients that you're going to go research after this are actually getting underneath the skin. And I also get, why does this work elsewhere? Well, scar tissue is when your body's trying to heal itself and it doesn't have hair follicles or sweat glands. There's no oil or moisture in there. And it's just helping break that stuff up. Again, bringing those cells apart that are not right. And it's all about cellular regeneration. Consistency promotes cellular regeneration in the inside and out. And Joyome is the same. Let me know if you have any questions, but what I love is that it's really just that simple. Protect your microbiome with Joyome and the body cream, so you can protect against all the things that are coming in. And then I want to stay looking young all the time, so I'm just glad to have it because it's cheaper and it's easier, and the science, it just works. Thanks for having me, Sarah.
Absolutely. And thanks for jumping on here, Cameron. I always adore listening to, her explain all the different, reasons why this is happening and such. And one of the things she mentioned at the very beginning of this, and I think it's really critical, is that we remain consistent and expect your results to happen over time. Because depending on how much damage you have that you may not even realize you have, sun damage, those types of things, it has to penetrate into your skin consistently over time to help those cells regenerate. So you're going to go through some purging. You're going to go through maybe some times when you're like, oh my gosh, my skin is worse. A lot of the things, I'm just going to run through a couple of the common things that we hear. People break out. People will say that their skin feels drier than it did before, and that's from the exfoliating. One of the other things too, and I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about troubleshooting Joyome, so that you know how to talk to your friends that maybe go through that purging stage, right? So one of the things that I like to ask first is, number one, are they being consistent? Number two, what type of cleanser are they using? Okay, because if they're using a super, super harsh, chemically laden cleanser right before they put on the Joyome, it's going to take them longer to see the results. They're probably going to be more inflamed, that sort of thing. So I actually use, and I'm not going to put it up here, but I use a aloe-based, very natural, gentle cleanser. So just look for something like that. They sell it at Whole Foods. They sell, like, all of these cleansers are readily available, Amazon. Just get something that's natural, that's gentle, that is literally just cleaning your face. That's all you need. You don't need anything else because the Joyome is doing all the other things, okay? So get rid of that Cetaphil, get rid of all those Neutrogena, all that kind of stuff, okay? So the other thing is, if you have somebody that is saying, oh my gosh, my skin hurts, it's painful after using the night serum, you guys, that it exfoliates you, okay? So one of the tricks that I always love, and this works every single time, y'all, is to reduce the amount of pumps that you're using at first as you're introducing this into your skincare routine, and mix it, cut it with a little bit of moisturizer. And as that only needs to last for a couple days, but that really helps your skin kind of get used to it and ease into this. Two, if that person has been used to over exfoliating, chances are they're going to be a little bit more inflamed at first, okay? And so all of those things, just take that into account. Use that as your troubleshooting tool to just have them reduce the amount of pumps that they're using and cut it with a little bit of moisturizer at first, okay? Remembering natural is better from the moisturizer standpoint. So those are just a few things that I wanted to mention as you're helping your new customers and new ambassadors get on. Really encourage those before pictures, because I was in love with the all-natural skincare routine that I had been using before Joyome came out. I didn't think I was going to get any better. And my before and after pictures are incredible. The way my skin feels is incredible. The tone, I mean, from the very first night I put it on, I tried the night serum first, and I woke up that next morning and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how smooth my skin is. So even your most skeptical people that don't think anything is going to happen, have them take very close-up pictures of their face, even if they don't plan to ever share that, just so that they can judge it for themselves. All right, thank you guys so much. I'll hop on and look at we had any comments and or questions in the comments. I'm sure Cameron will as well, and we'll make sure and answer any of those because we can't see those when we're doing these live webinars. All right, bye guys. I'll see you later.